Hello viewers, welcome back to the MultiMagix channel. As you know, on behalf of Mega organization, we are running internship program for our mainstream products, App Insight and MultiMagix. As you know, for the App Insight project, we have 5 teams working on that product, and I would not discuss those details. Not that the Rushi will be discussing those details in the coming videos, but here in this video, I will be focusing more about the MultiMagix product progress. As you know, as a part of MultiMagix internship program, so we have 2 teams. So one team is dedicated for desktop UI development. As you know, MultiMagix supports for various platforms. So far, we have seen Windows console, Linux console, RPi console, Android console, Mac OS, and then Android mobile, and then iOS mobile. Now we want to extend our to the Windows desktop application also. So the backend is already ready because the Windows console is already ready, and this team is a team of 4 members is working on this desktop UI development, and that sprint 1 has been completed there, and that progress and where they are, that I will be sharing in a separate video. This video is specifically about what we have achieved so far in the sprint 1 and what we need to do for sprint 2 for the MultiMagix Android team. So let's start the details now. So as you know, like we started with an orientation session, so where we had a meeting, online meeting with all the team members. I mean, all the 28 members joined. Of course, 20 are from AppAnySet and 8 for MultiMagix. But as a team, we joined. We have given an orientation. Like in that orientation, we explained about the internship structure, how it will be, and what are the products they will be working on, and how it will be, what are the policies, what are the guidelines, what are the kind of coding standards they need to follow. So all these kind of basic things, like what kind of methodology, agile methodology, sprint mechanism, sprint timelines. So we just give an kind of feel like how this internship program will be, so what they can expect from this internship program. And then we also have got an opportunity to introduce our team members, and we get a mutual hi bye kind of things. So we started with a very positive note, actually, to be frank. So later we moved on to a pre-sprint program. So it is a 1 week sprint. It is, we call it as a pre-sprint. So we don't, so here we just focus on what are the, we introduce to them the products, what is MultiMagix, what it is meant for. It is a media, React Native media application. It also has desktop application, console applications. Like we gave an introduction to them, what is about the MultiMagix product and what it does and what it cannot. So all those details we have, at least at high level, we have given to them, and we have given access to the source code for all the team members. So as a part of this MultiMagix Android, we have 2 repos. One is front end mobile and one is a React Native plugin. So for those 2 projects, for those 2 repos, for the respective team members, access has been given. And interestingly, we have shared couple of videos on YouTube. So one is about setting up the, so for the Android team, the sprint 1, the major task is to complete the, to set up the development environment. As you know, Android is, I mean, the development environment for Android is quite challenging, because you need to install it from scratch. You need to start installing Windows Subsystem Linux and basic OS packages, and on top of that Java, on top of the Android SDK, NDK tools, and like React Native plugins. And then on top of that, you need to clone the code, you need to import some modules, and then need to build. So it's a quite lengthy process and a tedious job. So rather than jumping into the task immediately, we thought, okay, let's give some time for a week, I mean for a complete sprint, to ensure each and every team member is able to set up the development environment on their local machine, and they're able to go through the build process, and they're able to validate the app on the Android mobile. So this is the primary agenda of the sprint 1. So to share that information, we have shared few steps in YouTube. So this particular video will give details about the build process, installations and the build process. So the corresponding PDF is also shared. If you might. Yeah, so this is the build process we shared. Like, okay, so what to install WSL, verify WSL, you need to open Ubuntu app, and you to upgrade your package, install Java, install Git, Android SDK, NDK, whatever I have installed React Native, and then the final build steps. So all these steps has been shared across this video. And once the build process is completed, and thanks to the team, they have really worked, they have spent a lot of hours, and they could able to achieve all the 4 team members are able to build the application on their local machine using WSL. So the next is about validating the app. This is about, okay, you have the build, you have the debug APK, now how to flash it on the target device using React Native commands. So for that we have shared one more video. So this video talks about how to install, how to connect your phone to the WSL, how do you transfer ownership from Windows to the WSL, and then what are the USB IPD commands and what are the ADB commands to ensure your device attached, and then later once the device is attached, what is the command you need to give to flash it. So all those details were captured in this video, and again a PDF is shared. So let me quickly glance through the video. So in this I mean through the PDF, so in the PDF we mentioned, okay, first your target should be in debug mode, so it means your phone should be, your target is Android mobile here, so you should to tap 7 times, and then you need to enable the USB debugging, and then you need to ensure you install this USB IPD, and then you use this commands IPD list, and your phone is showing here. So initially the status is not shared, so to share it you need to use this commands USB bind, and then USB IPD attached. So finally on the Ubuntu you will get this ADB devices, and then sometimes if there is an issue you need to follow these steps to ensure your phone is actively detected, and then finally you do npx react native start, and then you start running the app. Okay, so we also shared a one more additional process where you can run the app without React. In other ways, you can just generate a debug APK. So this APK you can copy it and you can flash it. I mean using this ADB command. So there are multiple ways of installing the APK onto the target. One is direct using the React. React take care of all the things. But if you want to share that APK to the friends, you can use this particular mechanism too. So this is how we went through about the how to validate the app on the target device on the Android mobile. So now, so the next step is we shared a one more PDF on how to how to set up an emulator and how to validate the app in the emulator. So actually this we share the steps, but we insisted team not to follow this process. If they follow it, they are good. Or the only reason is this emulator requires a lot of RAM from WSL, like close to 8 GB to 12 GB. Anyhow, we are testing it on the Android target, Android mobile. So emulator means it will kill lot of CPU resources, so it might slow down the development process. So we thought, okay, pause that for a minute. I mean, like we'll see it in the end how to test validate the app on the emulator. The first priority is to ensure the app is working good on the Android target, which is Android mobile device. But the steps are shared already. So how to set up emulator, so you need to open Android. So first you need to ensure you have a very good amount of RAM, and it is like, I mean not a very good amount of RAM. You need to first enable the virtualization, so you need to put it on, and then you need to go to SDK manager, select VDM, and then you just delete the existing one and then add a new one, and you need tablet here. So because you already have a mobile ready with you, so why again installing a mobile simulator. And then finally you need to install this particular image. So and then you can name this image like this, and then you launch it, and then this is how your emulator looks like. So once the emulator is ready, you can give the same command npx react native start, and it will start the process. And then you can this is how the application looks on the tab. Okay, so that's the steps we share, but as recommended, it is good to know that knowledge, because whenever if you have any issues with your mobile device, you can quickly jump on and see on emulator how is your app performing. But as it kills most of CPU resources, for now we are just targeting the Android mobile only. And again, a big thanks to all the 4 team members. So all they have worked really hard, and they are able to set up the development environment locally despite challenges. My bad. So the team Nasreen, Navina, Nandini, Samina, all 4 team members, they worked really hard, and then they were able to set up this development environment locally on their machine. Now they are able to build and they're able to validate the app on their mobile devices. So in the due course, we also conducted a YouTube live session. I mean, this live session is common for both UI team and the Android team, where we have reviewed or discussed about the challenges that they have gone through during the installation setup. So from thanks to Rishi, so he also joined the live and helped us to make it more interactive. And the challenges were especially for WSL for RAM should be more. Let's say your actual host machine has 12 GB RAM, then 8 GB you can dedicate to WSL, or at least if your host machine, it means your Windows machine has 8 GB RAM, at least give 6 GB to 7 GB of RAM to WSL. So because the Gradle build, it runs on multiple threads and it takes a lot of memory actually. And few faced issues running the Android Studio, so we did an WSL upgrade. And few faced issues for the Git clone. It's because on the WSL subsystem, the Git is, even though you configure the Git, the version of the Git that is installed is only supporting SSH and is not supporting HTTP. So we have to create SSH keys, and then you have to upload that to your GitHub account, and from there you can actually go through the cloning process much better. Okay, so throughout the discussions, like in build process, run process, and in this YouTube live sessions recording, so we ensure that we are slowly introducing the product to the team in like step by step. We are going layer by layer. Okay, so finally we came to a stage where we need to go through the code walks, environment is ready, build, everything is ready. So now we, over the Google Meet, we have 2 recorded sessions, and we shared that recorded sessions to the entire team, which we discuss about the architecture, code flow, and events. This is about front-end UI architecture, rather I would say building blocks. And we also discussed code flow, like if there is any conversion future video to audio, so how the app opens, what are the files it touches, and what, how it travels and comes, what are the different components it go through, and what are the different screens it goes through. And basic code flow we have discussed, and we also discussed the importance of events like emitter, listener in the process of this code flow. So we gave a general discussion, we had a general discussion about the events mechanism, event handling in other sense. So as a task, as a written task, we asked the team to come up with the flow diagram or block diagram which explains about the functionality of a single specific feature. And I am very proud that team is able, in a real quick time, in couple of days, even less than that, team is able to go through all the videos, go through all the sessions, and they were able to come up with a good flowchart or good block diagram which clearly explains about the MultiMagix UI process, how those calls are happening, what are the component screens involved in it. And I am at this point, I have team is able to understand the project structure. So if there is an Android front-end project, there is a back plugin project, what is the importance of it, what is the front-end project, what are the different folders, what are the different screens we have, or the different components, how that repository structure is mapped to the architecture. So all those details they were able to understand, and I'm confident enough like they will be doing a very good job in the coming days. So thanks team again for your work. This is what they have shared to us. So yes, this is like when you open the app, this is the first file, and from this index is launch the app component. From app, it will go to the routing. In the app, routing is mentioned, home, choose from file, settings, and convert. These are different routings, and home is linked to the top tab navigator, which has video tab and audio tab. And video tab we have video cards, and in audio we have audio cards. And what happens if you user select choose from files, this screen choose from file screen comes, and then you need to select the file, and then you need to, after selecting from file, you can select from tools, and from there it goes to the tool section. So from file screen we are selecting the file, and from there we are going to tools, and from tool screen we are calling this settings and convert.js file, and from there it is calling convert video future, and convert video future has a video player embedded in it, and we have a convert button. And once you click the convert button, so an event is emitted, and this event emitted will carry all the file details, and it calls the one more I mean, if finally that event is emitting, and index.js is listening to the emitter, and then this event dot listener will listen to it, and then it sends the data to the plugin layer. So this is all about the UI layer. So after all the required details are captured, those arguments with the help of this listener are sent to this particular plugin layer, which is called convert media. So in plugin layer we have one more index.tsx. So here you have this convert media. An event is emitted again from this listener, and then an event is there, and that event internally calls this native convert media. Or in other words, I can say, so here once the event listener is there, that event listener will call convert media. So this convert media is nothing but the function from the coming from the native plugin. So to this native plugin, from this native plugin again we are calling in native convert media, and this native convert media goes to the JNL layer, and inside the JNL layer you will be calling all the C++ functions, and it will talk into the backend code. So this is how our React native application or hybrid application is code flow is. So it start from particular screen, and it travels different screens, and finally you click convert button. So after clicking the convert button, an event is emitted, and once the event is emitted, you will get all these index.js and event listeners, and then you and from this event listener you will get a function is called convert media, and that will go to the plugin layer, and from plugin layer it go to JNL layer, and JNL layer to C++. So this is how the calls travel cell for the convert media function. Okay. So now I believe the team is ready to embrace the journey, and I hope, not I hope, I strongly believe, and I'm pretty much confident the team will definitely do well, because they understand the code flow now. They are able to understand the architecture. They are able to understand up to different layers, how the events plays an important role, and then the JNL layer, C++ layer, and then plugin layer, and on top of that UI layer. What is the communication between for all these things, how that native functions are get called, and how that event emitter and listen is playing an important role, and basic build setup and development setup and build process, run process, whatnot. So the team is well equipped with all the necessary things now, and I definitely believe they will enjoy the rest of the internship journey. So on that note, we will end this video. So I thought of sharing the sprint 2 in the same video, but because there are a lot of things I discussed, so we will discuss this sprint 2 grooming in a separate video. So until then, keep watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.